Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome then to the final race of the DTM Trophy for the weekend. It's round number 8. It is here at the Nürburgring Sprint circuit. And wow, it's the usual face on pole position. It's Tim Heinemann who took yet another pole position this weekend. Will he get his 6th win in a row this season? Or will Peter Terting, who's starting on the front row of the grid once again, managed to get up ahead this time into turn number 1. The big story here is, though, that Jan Casil is P3. He's a danger. We know what he's like. When he gets a chance to overtake, he will take that opportunity. The best overtaker in the championship. But there's Tim Heinemann then, at 33.8. The times have got a little bit slower as the weekend has indeed progressed. That's because the track temperature is a little bit hotter. Very, very simple there. Half a second slower than he was indeed yesterday. But he is on pole position, so it doesn't really matter how quick you are. If you take pole position, you get your 3 points. Tim Heinemann will be looking to get his 6th win in a row. As you can see there, just off to your right, we can see Peter Terting's orange Porsche. On the front row again. Sensational weekend from Peter Terting. Hasn't really had the pace across the season, but this weekend has really announced himself. Maybe a little bit too late for a championship run, but here's the man then, Jan Casil. He's the danger. He's in a quick car, racing for Lippert Motorsport. He's looking good. He's looking relaxed. And yesterday started from 7th position, or on the 4th row of the grid, and managed to get himself up into a podium hunt. So can he potentially go a step further today? Can he get the race victory? We know how fast he is. And he won't have to try and overtake the pesky BMWs today because he's ahead of them. Although Ben Tuck, P4, got a top 5 yesterday. Feels like this is the maximum the car could achieve in qualifying. And well, he's going to try and go one further today. And he will be trying to be menacing with the front drivers. And then we've got Lucas Mauron then. The number 5 is in P5. He's had some serious pace this weekend, but in qualifying, just unfortunately not quite there. P2 in both practice 1 and free practice 2 is the race going to be his opportunity to showcase his skills. Of course, at yesterday's race on the start line, as they were indeed coming across the start-finish line to start the race, his car was on fire, so he couldn't take part, and it looked really bad, and actually looked like it could be race weekend ending, but it wasn't. They're back out, so great job there by the team. We've then got Jan Philipp Springob in P6, another Mercedes car. So trying to keep the driver as cool as possible in these very hot conditions. Considering it's September, it is very, very hot. P7 then will be Fulgencio. Another Lippert Motorsport driver. Just keeping cool before we head into the race. Loads of fluids there, as you can see. Maybe he could spring a surprise from 7th position. We saw it yesterday from Jan Casil. So we know it is definitely a possibility. Loads of overtaking opportunities here, especially down towards turn number 1 and into the final corner. If you set yourself up out that final chicane into the final corner, you can really get a nice run. Felix Herziger then for Allied Racing will start on the 4th row. He is P8. The closest in terms of time we've had on the grid all season. The top 13 separated by around about a second. Normally it's around about 6 or 7 drivers that are separated by a second, so they are getting quicker and quicker and quicker and closer as well. Max Kubolt then for Volkenhorst Motorsport He will start there in P9. 7/10 of a second off the pace. And like I said a minute ago, 7/10 of a second would have got you sort of top 5 in previous rounds. So it just goes to show that everybody is indeed improving. Vankmuller then in another BMW for FK Performance Motorsport is also 7.5 of a second back there, rounding out your top 10. Rudolf Rin for Phoenix Racing will start in P11. 0.8 of a second off of qualifying, 1:34.671. Ben Green, the lead junior driver, only in P12 in qualifying. So he looks pretty relaxed. Big opportunity here, but again, qualifying just didn't quite go the way that he would have expected. Again, lead junior, 3rd in the championship overall. A lot of work to be done here for the very young driver. Van der Laden then keeps getting faster. Week in, week out, getting faster and faster and faster. At the start of the season, he's around about 3 seconds off the pace in qualifying, and now only 1 second off of pole position. So watch out at the back end of this season, because Felix van der Laden is going to close up and be right up there. I'm pretty sure of it. Then the first of our Toyota Supras, number 90, Verdonk for Ring Racing. The Belgian was 1.1 second off the pace. Fidel Lieb then, P15 for Liebherr Motorsport. A 3rd of the Liebherr Motorsport cars, a 1:35.001, 1.1 second off the pace. P15, our lead XP driver. Dominique Schack then for Hella Pagid Racing 1. 1.9 seconds off the pace. So not had the best of weekends in terms of qualifying pace, but now it's the race. Race is the opportunity to indeed prove yourself. There's only one driver behind him, and that is David Sherban in the Hella Pagid Racing 1. 2.6 seconds off the pace. Our only Romanian in the championship. So that's the 17 drivers that indeed did get a lap time in for qualifying. And now we have the only driver that didn't get a lap time in. Michael Tischner will indeed start from the back. And that was a bit of a, not too sure what's going to happen in this race. We're just going to give it everything, which is the minimum we expect from these drivers at this point. 30 minutes of racing plus 1 lap then here at the Nürburgring Sprint circuit. We've got fans in the stands who've still got a couple of races to indeed witness. Has anybody noticed themselves on the big screen? Are we going to get some waves? That's the question. And it doesn't look like we are. It's a huge shame. But as you can see then, all of the engineering staff are off of the grid. Safety car, or the pace car, who's got the lights flashing, and will indeed take us away here for some racing action. Have these two noticed? No, they haven't. A couple of young lads there as well. There we go. Hey! DTM Trophy time. So just waiting for that one remaining red light to go out, and the pace car will take us away. One full formation lap, a chance for them to get some heat into the tyres, as we've seen over the last couple of weekends, as we've been here twice it takes a couple of laps to really get the warmth in. And you'll see Tim Heinemann, even going up towards that final chicane, will still be working those tyres as hard as possible. But he's been the best at it. He's been absolutely flying here. Terting held on for about 15 minutes yesterday within 1 second of Heinemann, but there was no opportunity for him to make an overtake. Will today be different? Will Jan Casil get the start of dreams? He managed to gain 2 positions off of the start line yesterday. If he gains 2 positions today, he will be in the lead of this race. We know he's the danger. He's yet to win a race in this championship so far. And he has been the most entertaining to watch, that is for certain. So here is your starting grid. It will be Tim Heinemann, championship leader on pole position. Peter Terting is in second. Jan Casil, no standout result yet this season, but is still second in the championship. He will start in third. Ben Tuck, winner from round number 1, is in 4th position. And while in 12th position, then Ben Green, our only other winner, apart from Ben Tuck, and indeed Tim Heinemann, is in 12th position. So we've only had 3 winners this season so far in 7 races. Are we about to see our 4th? Terting, Jan Casil, they're the best position drivers for that chance. But they've got to beat 5 race winner in a row, Tim Heinemann, who is, of course, on pole position. So as the standings go here, Tim Heinemann is on 181 points. He is 84 points clear of Jan Casil. Hugely ahead here at this point with only 4 races left to go after this one. So Jan Casil really needs to beat him. Ben Green, 3rd in the championship. He's on 87 points, so he is nearly 100 points behind Tim Heinemann already. He starts from P12. So they grid up here. Is race number 2 of the weekend, the final race of the DTM trophies. And well, are we going to have a frantic race? Always the second race seems to have just a little bit more action. As you can see then, that orange Porsche lining up alongside Tim Heinemann. They come around that final corner. Got the BMW just in behind as well of Peter Terting. And you've got the AMG just in behind Heinemann then of Jan Casil. We come across the grid here for the very final time before we get going here. The green lights are about to go off here. And we are green then, ladies and gentlemen, and well, Jan Casil got a flyer. He has Peter Terting also with a flyer here down in towards turn number 1. All 4 of the front drivers have got a very good start here. It goes 3 wide. Jan Casil making it 4 wide as well. And through turn number 1, Tim Heinemann just about leads them through here. Terting's going to lose the position, although he's going to have to go late on the brakes here to hold on to it. Or Jan Casil will take P2. And has Casil done it? I think Casil's just about going to get a car ahead. Not quite. As they come down in towards turn number 3. Terting's got the inside line, but now Jan Casil will make the run. There we go. So Jan Casil, I told you, if he gets an overtaking opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, he will take it. Ben Green is coming through the pack here as well. I think Ben Green might be up into a top 10. Got late on the brakes there. Lucas Mauron has had a very poor start here from P5. He's now dropped down into 6th, maybe even 7th position. But what a start in this race. And oh, it's a big spin then. And that is Mauron. So Mauron then has spun, should be okay. No safety car needed here. He's going to get going at the back of the pack. Just on the power a little bit too early there. I don't know whether there was any contact. We will get a replay of that, of course. And you can see that Felix van der Laden there battling in front with that Toyota Supra. But in the lead of this race, it is Tim Heinemann. Heinemann then is ahead of Jan Casil, and there's a bit of a gap here. Terting maybe going to go late on the brakes then for the move up towards the chicane, and he does go for it. He has gone for it. Jan Casil has to back out. I think he's going to have to give Terting the position back here as they end up going up towards the, well, around the final corner here. Terting and him battling so hard, which is just letting Heinemann drive away. So Heinemann's got the perfect situation once again. And it's all coming up Millhouse here. Look at this, though. Ben Tuck trying to find a gap up the inside of Jan Casil. Jan Casil closes the door, and Ben just has to get off of the power. In behind them, they've got Springgob in P5. Down in towards turn number 1. In behind them is Max Kubolt. So Kubolt also having a very good start here. So Kubolt on absolute fire as it stands. But if you're thinking that Peter Turting in that orange Porsche is leading this race, he's not. Tim Heinemann is off into the distance again. And Jan Casil had an opportunity to drive away, not quite being able to do so here. You've got Fulgencio then in behind Kubolt. So Fulgencio may be looking to make a potential move here in that number 9 car. Kubolt's going to have the right of way through the right-hander, downhill hairpin. And again, there we go. Heinemann off into the distance. And he has just been bulletproof, absolutely bulletproof over the last few weekends. And you could probably say all season, to be fair. Apart from him not winning at Spa at all, he got second twice. He was so strong. And we should rename this to the Tim Heinemann Trophy. This has been such a dominant display so far this season. And it looks like he is halfway there to getting his 6th win in a row. Peter Turting now able to drive away from Jan Casil. So Casil had the opportunity to be in P2 and lost out. So Turting really getting aggressive here and showcasing his skill set. Mauron, by the way, has already then overtaken his teammate down in P18, which is Dominique Schack. But here's the start then. So the front 4 get a great start. And actually, the one that really didn't was Heinemann. So Heinemann, P1, did not get the best of starts. And you can see here, it almost goes 3 wide early, but it decides against it. And you can see Ben Tuck then makes it 3 wide from the outside. So he goes on the outside of Peter Turting, and then Jan Casil sticks his nose in as well. So it is 4 wide as they go into the apex here. Tim Heinemann just covers that inside line, gets on the power early enough. And what stopped Jan Casil from being able to attack Heinemann is that Turting just kept his nose in there. So Turting, again, you can see in that big orange Porsche, just kept his nose in there. There's the spin from Lucas Mauron in the background. Luckily, no one else was involved in that, so we're all good. It was all on his own, wasn't it? Yeah, it was just all on his own. I don't think there's any contact with anybody, just on the power too early. And I'm very unfortunate here. And, well, Heinemann, again, taking liberties with that corner cut. So Heinemann last week had a time taken away from him for doing that. You can see that Jan Casil completely missed the corner. He had to give the position up, ultimately. So Turting was able to go around the outside, but it just cost them both so much time. So there you go. The lead then is 2 seconds. It's Tim Heinemann that leads the way. Turting second. Casil is in 3rd. Ben Tuck in 4th position, looking to add to his podium haul for the season. In 5th position then is Springov. Kubolt 6th. Fulgencio is in 7th position. We've then got Ben Green up to 8th. 12th position up to 8th then for Ben Green, our junior driver. Well, he's absolutely smashing it right now. We've got Mauron then, who's actually moved up ahead of Sir Sherban as well. So he's up ahead of Sherban. He's also got ahead of Tishner. And Dominique Schack. So Mauron coming back through the pack, and it's one of those weekends that Mauron's going to be so furious at, because he could have got so many good performances or so many big points this weekend, but it's just not gone right. Yesterday his car was on fire, that's not his fault, and he's just let himself down a little bit there with the spin. Again, wasn't too sure if there's any contact with anybody, but he's got some unreal talent, that's for sure. He's got some speed. It's just all about hooking it all up together. And I'm sure we'll see that between now and the rest of the season. So the front 8 have got a little bit of a gap then to Felix Herziger and Luke Vankmuller. That rounds out your top 10. Verdonk, by the way, up to P11, so he's had a very good start here, up ahead of Rudolf Rin. Von der Laden in P13, Fidel Lieb 14th, Mauron 15th. We've got Sherban in 16th. Got some nice wave there, they're pretty happy. Then we've got Tishner in 17th. And Dominique Schack then in 18th position, racing in that Audi. But the lead now still growing. 0.2 of a second has been taken out then of Turting, who's currently in P2. So Heinemann just in a bit of a different world right now. And again, people can argue, say that it's not good for the championship and all that good stuff, but ultimately, if he's driving as well as he's driving, there's other cars on the grid with the same machinery underneath them. If he's driving at this level every single week, he just deserves everything that comes his way. He's been absolutely superb. Kubolt, though. Kubolt just in behind Springov. I know we've got some Max Kubolt fans watching, that's for sure. As you can see there, Vankmuller trying to make a move here on Felix Herziger. So Kubolt not looking to go forward because he's got Fulgencio right in behind him. So Fulgencio in P7 in that number 9 Mercedes car is very close indeed Got the battle in the background then between Fidel Lieb and Lucas Mauron. So Mauron trying to make his way through the pack here as soon as he possibly can. Fidel Lieb, for now, holding strong. Mauron's going to pull out to the right here. Will he go late on the brakes? He will. He's going to have a go here through the hairpin. He's going to run out. Well, no, he's not. He's going to hit the apex perfectly there. And this is where indeed he got the power too early with cold tyres and spun the car. That's why he's having to go through the pack now. But Mauron showing some good pace. Showing some really good pace. Terting, by the way, has just taken a couple of tenths out of Heinemann. So maybe, just maybe, Heinemann has got a chink in the armour. Let's not read too much into it. Terting's gapped Jan Casil as well. So Jan Casil's off on his own sort of race here. Ben Tuck only about 9/10 of a second behind. So again, with these cars, it's quite a big gap. This is the closest battle on circuit as it stands then. This is the battle for P6. Can Kubolt hold on? And the AMG is very, very close indeed. BMW though's got a very good exit onto the start-finish straight. How late can you brake though, Fulgencio? Is he going to go Fulgencio send? Not quite close enough. I'll tell you what though, Kubolt misses the apex there ever so slightly. And that is going to be a great sight then for Fulgencio. As they come through turn 2. Down in towards turn number 3. Downhill braking zone here, so you can get fruity with your braking down there. You've got to be really, really careful. Oh, that's Dominique Schack, isn't it? Schack there spinning. And well, the two Audis, both representing the same team, of Hella Pagid Racing 1. Just looks like they may have lack a bit of balance on the rear. As the car just steps around. Heinemann back up to 2.1 seconds, so he's gained that 10th of a second again. And Max Kubolt, he has got some pressure on behind him. Fulgencio has not let him go for what, 3 laps now? And he's not able to look forward here. And this is perfect for Ben Green. So Ben Green, P12 in qualifying, already up to P8. He's taken the role of Jan Casil for the day, making his way up the pack. Gap between 3rd and 4th, then a battle for the podium is 1 second, or 1.1 second now. A bit of a mistake there by Max Kubolt. I think you might see a potential move here up the inside towards the final corner, and he has to leave the room. The nose is there. No, it's not. So he had to back out. And Kubolt there had made the mistake and, well, given an opportunity there actually for Fulgencio. Fulgencio, though, has actually lost time there because of the squeeze. But again, perfect for that black BMW in behind. Fulgencio flashing the lights there, trying to get into the mind of Max Kubolt. But as you see with Kubolt's credentials defensively, it's not going to affect him too much. Van der Laden then versus Lucas Mauron. Mauron again coming through this pack. And he's making his way up towards the top 10. So he's up to the 13th position now. Heinemann now 2.3 seconds in the lead. So again, he's managing this gap and actually just about extending it, of course, with the clear air. Terting holding on to a second position. He'll get his second of the weekend. So he'll be pretty happy with that. But ultimately, he'd like to go one more. Fulgencio almost touching the BMW, though, as they come up towards the final sector here. But Fulgencio is on. He's on the back of that car like a rash, isn't he? He's very, very close. But again, the BMW, the power in a straight line just keeps getting out of trouble. It just seems like a bit of a dog through corners for the AMG to be able to close up as well as it does. But ultimately, you can make that car as wide as you want. You can go through the corners as quickly as you want, but you can't go through a car. So again, if Kubolt keeps hitting the apexes, he will hold on to that P6. But Ben Green, again, really not closing in as quickly as I thought. As you can see at the timing there, Heinemann leads, Terting, Casil, Tuck, Springgob, Kubolt, Fulgencio, Green, Herziger, Vankmuller, Verdonk, Rin, Mauron. So your top 13. Van der Laden, Lieb, then is 14th and 15th position. Then we've got Sherban. Sherban in P16, Tischner in P17. And we've got Dominique Schack P18 after that spin 5 seconds off of the Toyota Supra at the back end of this grid. We're nearing the halfway point of this race. You see the Vankmuller there trying to put the pressure on to Herziger in that blue Porsche. Mauron is just, like, you see the pace he's got. He's coming through this pack at a rate of knots, but just unfortunately doesn't have that consistency to keep it in one piece. So imagine if he was in the top 5. Imagine if he was, let's say, Peter Terting. I think you'll find that Mauron would be able to put the charge to Heinemann this weekend. But unfortunately, just hasn't kept it together, whether it be reliability or little mistakes creeping in. Be interesting to see what happens next time out at Zolder, because the weekend's pretty much gone for him, unfortunately. Max Kubolt here seems to have found his rhythm a little bit more, a little bit further ahead then of the AMG. The AMG not quite tickling the undercarriage of that car. So around that final corner. We're looking on board here with Lucas Mauron then. So Mauron just in behind Rudolf Rinn. So Mauron needs to make 3 overtakes here, including Vankmuller, to get himself in that top 10 in the point. Just like all about whether he can do it or not. Heinemann now 2.7 seconds in the lead. He's gone. Fulgencio though on the power nice and early to come up towards turn number 2. And here's Mauron then. So he's going to lose a load of time here if he doesn't get it done early, especially through sector 1. It's the slowest part of the circuit. If he can get ahead here of Herziger, Rudolf Rinn, he can then look to go and challenge Verdonk. He's got 15 minutes to get 3 positions here to get a point. And well, here we go. It is side by side then between Fulgencio and Kubolt. Kubolt holds the inside line. Kubolt, I think, is just about going to hold on to P6. But look at this. Look at this. Fulgencio is as close as he has ever been. He's right underneath that rear wing here, up towards the elbow, and into that final chicane. Is he going to have the kahunas to maybe get on the brakes here a little bit later? And again, it's got all about setting yourself up outside of this chicane. If you can set yourself up nicely here, you can make a run up towards that final corner. And actually, it looks like Fulgencio there in that dirty air of the car in front just lost the rear ever so slightly. And look at Ben Green. So Ben Green now in very close proximity. So Fulgencio is the meat now in a BMW sandwich. You can see there Fulgencio's number on the top there, Ben Green as well, and the big LEDs. And I love what the DTM Trophy have done this year. They've really put the emphasis on how serious this championship is, and they've given the drivers every reason to indeed push as hard as they can. And wow, pushing as hard as they can is Lucas Mauron's middle name when he gets the opportunity, because he's now up to P12. He's made the move on Rudolf Rinn. It took him a lap and a half, but he's now pushing his way towards Verdonk and Vankmuller. How far can Lucas Mauron go, though? Here we go. We've got the move around the outside then by Fulgencio. Going to be squeezed here. And, well, you can see that he's run off circuit through the grass, through the gravel. And, well, can Kubolt keep hold of it? He can't. He's been absolutely closed onto the apex here. But I tell you what, he's still at the inside. Ben Green also involved here. And Fulgencio has got that move done. It took him 5 laps. But Fulgencio moves up into that top 6. But no. You know, you think Kubolt's like, oh, I can look to go forward, but he can't because Ben Green is right underneath that rear wing. And we know how good Ben Green is, of course. He is a race winner within the DTM Trophy. He's got the same machinery underneath him here. He's punching a hole in the air for Ben Green. Lights there flashing. He's flashing lights as well, is Kubolt. And Ben Green, again, just going to try and set himself up here and towards that final corner. But now, are we going to see Fulgencio be able to drive away? It looks like he already is. And here's the move then. So he sets himself up beautifully well. He got the inside line through turn number 3. And as they come to turn 4, you've got to be committed here because you are going to be naturally squeezed wide. And he was squeezed wide. And look at the line he had to take. He had to take some gravel. He had to take some AstroTurf. Just about gets back on. And you can see how much that affected the car on the rejoin. And I'll tell you what, that is a hell of a move there. Superb stuff from everybody concerned. Kubolt could have squeezed him further, you know. Just the nature of that corner. It was very, very fair. Heinemann, by the way, is being caught a little bit. 2.5 seconds is the lead. Ben Green wants a bit of this action now, doesn't he? Ben Green wants a bit of this action. We've got Springob now. So Springob trying to attack the BMW here for P4. Front 3 have gone at this point. 2 seconds ahead of these is Kisil, who's currently in P3. Heinemann 2.6 seconds ahead of Terting. So Terting starting to hit some really good lap times here with 13 minutes to go. Make sure that you do indeed bookmark grid.dtm.com. All sessions for all of the support classes of the DTM and the DTM Trophy will be live broadcasted every single week. So you'll have me commentating over most of the support classes and this. If you don't enjoy my commentary, then, well, unfortunately, it might be not for you then. But yeah, hopefully a lot of you have enjoyed the commentary. It's my first year in real world of motorsport, actually, so it's nice to be given the opportunity, and hopefully everyone's enjoying it. I certainly have. I think this championship's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and it's laid the foundations for more seasons to come, that's for sure. Springgob then, just getting into the mirrors there of Ben Tuck. Well, there is Heinemann. So Heinemann back to around about 2.7. Doesn't really need to push too hard here. And, well, this could potentially put himself one hand on the trophy. I think he's already got one hand on the trophy. So it looked like Terting was closing up, but actually, by the looks of things, he's still losing time. And I think Jan Casil's the one. I think Casil had the opportunity today. If he held on to P2, he might have been able to put pressure on Heinemann in the first few laps. It's not quite worked out. So Ben Tuck and Springgob. Fulgencio now ahead of Kubot. Ben Green is in behind Kubot. 0.6 of a second separating Kubot and Ben Green, both BMW drivers. You can see them. They will come through the screen. Well, they won't come through the screen now. Heinemann with 10 minutes to go, or 11 minutes to go. It's looking likely it's going to be a 6th win in a row. Unfortunately, Ben's not able to look forward here because he's got to defend here. So Jan Philipp Springgob is very, very close indeed. Great camera work there around the Coca-Cola curve. Down towards turn number 1. So the BMW just seems to have a bit more poke and acceleration. It just doesn't seem to have the balance through the corners, that's for sure. AMG seems to be very, very good all-rounder. Frank Van Rijn, he wants Kubot to pick up the pace. Big Max Kubot fan. Again, appreciate you tuning in. Glad you're enjoying the coverage of the DTM Trophy. Ooh, just getting stuck. Maron's trying to make the move here, isn't he? So Maron just about got ahead of Verdonk, but Verdonk has reciprocated beautifully well. And you can see there's a big train of cars in front here as well, so there's a big points opportunity for these two. Maron then. How late on the brakes will he go? We've seen him already make a move in towards his hairpin once before today. He's going to have to go the long way round, and this is where he made a mistake on lap number 1. So again, you can see the difference between the dirty side of the track and indeed the clean side of the track. But they are all closing up here, aren't they? Yes, they are. So Vankmuller's closed up to the back of Hertzger. Hertzger's closed up to the back of Ben Green. And it looks like Kubot is the cork in the bottle here. Lucas Maron then. It's going to go out wide. And actually, speed advantage here. Wow. It's going to be easily done here up towards that final chicane. And Maron then's going to move up into P11. Next up then is Vankmuller. So Maron could potentially have gone from P5 down to P18, back up to a top 10. Still the battle here goes on for P4. Springgob not giving Ben Tuck a moment's rest, and this will be one of the hardest fought P4s Ben's ever going to have in his career at this point, because he has not been able to look forward at all. You see that Mercedes where it's able to just glide through the first sector. Down in towards the hairpin with 8 minutes 30 seconds to go. Plus 1 lap, of course. There's half a second between them. So Ben Tuck has actually gained a little bit there. Nicely done. Although he runs a little bit wide. This is going to be brilliant for Springgob. He's going to be loving this. The car in front is struggling. He's making him work so hard behind the wheel. Again, Mauron's just creeping onto the back here of the Vankmuller, Herziger, Ben Green and Kubolt battle. So Ben Green not able to get past Kubolt. It looks like Kubolt is the slower of the 4 drivers as it stands. And they are really close. Here's our leader, Tim Heineman. Looking very likely he's going to make it 6 from 6. And winning this championship, you get yourself a DTM test. So maybe, just maybe, we might see Tim Heineman go from the trophies representing in the DTMs at some point. Another driver in the world who's come from sim racing into real racing. Racing this weekend. James Baldwin as well as another one. He's racing in the British GT this weekend. So we're seeing it more and more and more. Karting has always been the gateway into racing. Sim racing is also, I would say, equally now between karting and sim racing. Very advantageous to have both experiences, I would say, now to get into the racing world. Tim Heineman proving that sim racing is genuinely an option. It's genuinely a gateway into the big time. He currently leads here by 3 seconds to make it his 6th win in a row. He's not finished any lower than 2nd in any race this season out of 8. It's been phenomenal. So here we go then. Mauron's behind Vankmuller. So Vankmuller under some pressure here from Mauron. So Mauron has gone from P5 down to P18, all the way back up to P11 right now, and challenging for some potential points. Ben Green, by the way, has dropped off the back here of Kubolt. So Kubolt started to find some form here. I'm wondering whether, indeed, he's slowed down for a couple of laps here to try and get his tyres back into a decent range. Now he's able to drive away. Ben Green there flashing his lights. I think he knows you there, mate. So it'd be hard to miss that BMW behind you. As Matt Malone would say, he's just saying hello. He's just letting you, just saying hello. How you doing? Down in towards turn number 1, and that Audi. Is he going to be able to make a move here down in towards turn 1? Not quite. Herziger, by the way, closing in as well. Ooh, bit of contact potentially there between Ben Green and indeed Max Kubolt. And look at Mauron. Mauron is going to send one up the inside of 2 and 2. He does. Great move there by Mauron. Took full advantage. Vankmuller makes the mistake. And Mauron, honestly, see him at the front of the grid at some point. When he hooks it all up, he is going to be so good to watch near the front. He's come up towards the points then, so he's done 8 overtakes during this race. After putting himself at the back here, the first challenge. 5 minutes to go, maybe he can gain another couple of spots here. He's got Herziger just in front of him. Here's Fulgencio, took him 5 laps to get the move done on Max Kubolt. Hasn't looked back, he's just driven away. So here is Fulgencio. So no one's got any warnings. Nobody's got any penalties or anything like that for track limits. So not even had one warning during this race. I was very surprised that, like that there, Mauron. I'm very surprised that Heineman didn't get a warning for the first lap, but I guess it was the first lap. So they're a little bit more lenient. And now Herziger's just creeping onto the back of these and Lucas Mauron. And well, the drivers in the BMWs and indeed Herziger will have some sort of idea. And so would the BMWs. They would have passed him on lap 1 thinking, oh God, that's his race over. And now he's coming back for vengeance. Vengeance on himself because it was his own mistake. And Ben Green then almost tagging the rear again, closing that gap. Felix Herziger is in very close proximity. Von der Laden there, turning in at Narnia for that corner. It's definitely not the apex. He was inside the apex there. As we get some slow-mos of them coming through that final chicane. Here's Jan Casil again. The front 3, it's just not really been a race at the front there. They've got into those positions and it's been pretty much formation from there, from that point onwards. Still got this this battle here for P4, Spring Gob. I'll tell you what, Mauron Oh, that's not Mauron, is it? No, this is at the back then. So Verdonk making a move here. Or is it Tischner? Sorry, it's Tischner. Tischner battling with Dominic Schack. So can Schack go up the inside? He will not. And Tischner will take P17. So good to see there's action all over the circuit still. We head on board with this battle then. This is for a top 4. So the only way that they're going to be looking at a potential podium here if there's some sort of failure out in front there. We wouldn't wish that on anybody. With what, maybe three laps remaining of this race? Watch out, ladies and gentlemen, because Mauron has caught up to the back of this pack now. He was 2 seconds behind only 2 laps ago. So he is after blood here, and he'll want to get up to, he'll want to be ahead of all 3 of these. That's a fact. He knows he's got the pace, but has he got the craft? So watching him come through Sector 1. Still got this battle there between Ben Tuck and Springob. It's been going on for the entirety of this race. 100% these two are going to be shaking hands after this race and just swapping stories about how exciting it was, that's for sure. Springob won't be the happier of the two, but yeah, sensational performance from both of them. See he's flashing his lights there of approval. Obviously listening to the commentary. So yeah, it's been a really good race. Congratulations. But I think Tuck will be relatively pleased with this performance today. Again, the balance of performance has changed a few times now for the BMW, so it makes it really difficult for them to get any sort of rhythm. But hopefully it stays the same, just for continuity for the next round. But here we go then, Lucas Mauron trying to find a move here on Felix Herziger. Herziger takes the inside line, steps the rear out here, and this is the opportunity. Mauron should get a very good run down towards turn number 1. He's underneath that rear wing, and actually he's already moving aside here. So it is Porsche versus Audi, and I think the Audi is going to be able to make this move. Late on the brakes for him, and he will get P9. Herziger is fighting back though, but I think Mauron is just about going to have him covered, and actually looked very comprehensive down towards turn 1 in the end. So Mauron doing a sensational job. Again, started P5, was in P18 after a spin through turn 5. Now finds himself moving up the pack here. Here's our race leader though, championship leader, winner of the last 5 rounds, and it will be 6th round in a row as the team look on. And well, we are coming up towards the final lap of this race. As we come up towards the elbow here. Will Mauron be able to grab any more positions? That's the big question. Well, although, yeah, Mauron's just got past Herziger then. As we come around that final chicane here, another very, very good drive from Peter Terting. Terting's got 2 second positions this weekend. Jan Casil, again, in and around that podium. Cannot win a race. He's got some talent, this driver. He will stay 2nd in the championship as well. But we are on the final lap of today's race then. It's pretty much nailed on who the top 3 are going to be. Will Ben Tuck hold on to P4? And well, how many positions is Mauron going to get? Would he get Ben Green? Would he be able to overtake Kubolt as well? They've got 1 lap remaining. And well, here we have got this battle on our screen right now. So we've got Felix Herziger then, who closes in. But on the exit, the Audi is able to get the power relatively early. Flashing of the lights there, giving the BMWs a taste of their own medicine. Down in towards turn number 1. Ben Green doing exactly the same. Trying to force a potential mistake. This man here has been flawless. Not only this weekend, previous weekend and the previous 2 weekends. He has been just sensational. Such a bright future ahead of Tim Heinemann. I'm sure that this is only the beginning of his potential incredible racing career. 3.5 seconds to lead. Oh, Mauron is going for it here. He's had to go right around the outside. And well, we will get a replay of that. Felix Herziger is going to take the opportunity here to retake the position. Mauron then sends one back up the inside on the exit. And Felix Herziger just about has the inside line. So some frantic action happening here on the last lap. Wouldn't expect anything less from Lucas Mauron. He leaves everything out on track every single race, every single weekend. And well, it's another dominant weekend for Tim Heineman, who's going to take victory here again. It's 6 races in a row now for Tim Heineman as he crosses the line. In second position, then, it will be Peter Terting, and in third, it will be Jan Casil. That is how they started this race as well. And well, in the background here, we can see that Ben Tuck is just about going to hold on to P4. Springob fought for everything that race, but it will be Ben Tuck in P4, Springob P5, and then you've got Del Fulgencio in to P6, and I think Herziger's going to hang on here. It will be indeed Kubalt in 7th, 8th then for Ben Green, 4 positions gained. Lucas Mauron does finish ahead of Herziger, so Herziger has made a mistake around the final corner, and Mauron's taken it, so Mauron has gone from P5 to P18 to finish in P9. What a race that was. What a race that was from him. Very, very, very exciting. As they all indeed come in now. Apart from the podium drivers, they get to do their parade lap around the Nürburgring Sprint circuit. And what a drive it's been yet again from Tim Heineman. There's Fidel Lieb as well. Lieb, of course, is the XP driver. He'll pick up that trophy for today as well. And David Sherban. There's the team. All really, really happy. And why wouldn't you be? The HP Racing International team. So Mauron was trying to make a move on Ben Green, and Ben Green squeezed him out wide. Didn't end up losing the position to Herziger. Mauron, that's not the line you want to be taking, that's for sure. I don't know what's going on here, but we're in reverse. That's Peter Terting's team. But again, another sensational display by this driver. What more could be said about him? What more can be said about him? They set the car up well. The preparation's been perfect. And congratulations to the number 46, Tim Heineman. Here are the official race results then. Tim Heineman, P1. Peter Terting, P2. Jan Casil, P3. Ben Tuck, 4th. Springob, 5th. Fulgencio, 6th. Kubalt and Ben Green, 7th and 8th. Mauron and Felix Herziger will take P9 and P10. For me, driver of the day will be Lucas Mauron. What a performance that was. Luc Vankmuller will take P11. Verdonk will take P12. Rudolf Rin, 13th. Felix von der Laden, 14th. Fidel Lieb, 15th. Our lead XP driver. David Sherban, Dominique Schack, and Michael Tischner will round out your 17 drivers. As they all indeed put the cars there towards the podium. Springob then will be our lead junior driver as well. Heineman is so, so happy. Terting there, celebrating with his team. What a weekend it's been for him. 2 P2s. But let's officially look then at our 3 drivers on the podium. Jan Casil started P3, finishes in P3, sorry. Could have been so much more, but unfortunately on the first lap, she got involved in a big tussle with Peter Terting, and they both really cost each other a chance of winning. But it was clean, fair racing, as we do indeed look on board then with Peter Terting. And that car would not look out of place in the 80s. What a beautiful car it is. But Peter Terting will take P2. But as per usual, we've become accustomed to it. It is Tim Heineman who will take victory here yet again. Another double victory this weekend. Sensational performance from him. He just looks absolutely flawless. Is anybody going to be able to stop him from taking the championship? Very, very unlikely. So while the podium celebrations happen, I will go quiet. I will let you all enjoy the ceremony here of all of our drivers. Fidel Lieb and indeed Springob in the background there. They are our XP and junior drivers that will be picking up their trophies as well. So it's now time for the trophies and the champagne. So here are your championship standings then. Tim Heinemann with 178 points. Jan Casillas on 96. Ben Green's on 87. Ben Tuck on 87 as well. Peter Terting's on 50, tied with Herziger. 45 for Max Kubolt. Mark De Fulgencio on 43. 40 for Springob. And Reinhard Koffler with 21 points after that points haul last week in his only race of the season. I believe they have not been updated, actually, so that will be representative of the end of race number 1. But anyway, I've been Luke Crane. Hopefully you've enjoyed the DTM Trophy action. We've got one more race coming up for you on DTM.grid. That is going to be the Touring Wagon Legends coming up with one of my favourite cars of all time. So come and join us there in 5 minutes' time. But, well, we head next time out to Zolder. See you then.